What's up, guys? It's Crypto Clay here, and I'm currently at my friend's house, so I'm not making a video in my basement today, unfortunately, so I don't have all of my things prepared like I normally do. But I just wanted to go over a couple of things. A lot of people recently have been asking me about diversifying their crypto portfolio, and I think it's a very important question and it needs to be discussed in many different avenues. So today we're going to be talking about that, but before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about the market and what it's doing right now. And for those of you that are day/swing traders that want to take a look at the market today, I have a couple of things that I've been looking at, and I think that I have a couple of good tips for today. So obviously, the market has dipped back down below that 15,000, close to 16,000 that we saw yesterday, and currently Bitcoin is sitting at $13,400. Now, for those of you that have watched my videos previously, I did say that this might be a bull trap, what we saw yesterday, and we could see lower lows than what we've already seen. Now, that being said, I think 2018 is going to be very bullish for the entire cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin altogether. So have no fear with that, but if you're waiting for a lower dip, we might still see it. So if you're waiting, just be patient. We might still see some more lower lows than what we've already seen. For those of you that bought at that $11,000 2 days ago, congratulations to you guys. You did a hell of a job. But a couple of the assets that I wanted to talk about today were Tron and Monero. Those are two of the cryptocurrencies that I see that are below 20% right now. So those being 20% down usually signify a buy factor for me. So Monero and Tron, those are two projects that I've loved, and I've talked about Tron previously, but Monero I haven't talked about in a while. Monero has been a project that I've loved for a very long time though. I got into Monero whenever it was just pennies, and I think it's still a great project today. I got out for a little while whenever that hack occurred on Monero. Well, that loophole that was found in the blockchain itself, but I still think it's a great project today, and it is currently 20% down, so that's going to signify a good buy factor for me today. Personally, I think it's going to go back up. And I think Bitcoin is down about 15% today, so Monero being down 20% signifies a good buy signal for me. Tron is currently down about 25% from its high a few days ago, but it's still only 3.5 cents, so that is still a really good price for that specific cryptocurrency. And I think it's only going to go up because it's a great project moving forward. And I think the work that they're trying to accomplish is going to really impact people in the future. So that one is a really good buy signal right there. And if you're just swing trading that, then obviously you could make some good profits off of that. But Tron, I think, is a really good long hold, and so is Monero. So if you're taking this advice from a hodl standpoint, then those two cryptocurrencies are good for that as well. So let's get into diversification. Now, a lot of people recently have been telling me the cryptocurrencies that they're diversified in, and they've been asking me personally, what do you think about diversification, and how would you set it up for my specific portfolio? Now, before I begin, I just want to say that every single person is in a different situation, and every single financial situation is entirely different. So this is not going to apply to everybody, and I'm trying to take the most objective standpoint as possible. I'm not going to try and talk about my current situation, my current financial situation. I'm just going to take a very broad approach to this. Now, at the end, I'll talk a little bit about my financial situation, but for the most part, I just want to talk more about diversification as a whole in crypto portfolios. Now, a quote that I got from Warren Buffett is, "Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing." Now, for those of you that don't know who Warren Buffett is, he is an investor in a lot of different companies. Currently, you might not know what his company is, but he is a billionaire. He's one of the richest men in the world, and he created Berkshire Hathaway, which is one of the largest companies in the world. Their revenue is incredible. They have one of the highest stock prices in the world, if not the highest. I don't even know if any companies have a higher stock price. But the thing is this is a very smart man, and he has been making wise investment decisions since he was a young man around my age. So I take very close notice to anything that he says. And so we're just going to break down this quote. He said, "Diversification is protection against ignorance." So what does that mean? Essentially, what he's trying to say is people that don't know what they're doing are going to diversify because they don't know what to look for. So they think that, if I invest in all of these things, then I at least have a chance with one or two of these. And if they do extremely well, then I make profit off of that, right? Okay, the next thing that he said was, "It makes little sense if you know what you're doing." So if you're an investor and you actually know what you're doing and you know what to invest in, then you put your assets in what you know and what you think to be a good investment. So the way I see that, as a crypto investor, I know what projects I think are going to do extremely well, and I have a pretty good track record so far. I invested in Ethereum at 98 cents. I invested in Monero at pennies. I invested in a few other really great projects that have done extremely well. For those of you that don't know, I was initially a part of the Evergreen Coin project that has been doing extremely great things for the world. They've been planting trees. They just helped with a village in Kenya, and I got in on that at the ground floor, and now that cryptocurrency is thriving and doing great things for the community. So I've had a pretty good track record of investing in things on the ground floor, and that is exactly what Warren Buffett is talking about here. Being able to see a project and know that it has potential and investing in it early on and putting your eggs in that basket. And that's exactly what I've done. Things that I see that have potential to do extremely well, I put my money into that and I go head first into those specific projects. Like, for instance, I invested in 2 ICOs this year, and I expect that those ICOs are going to do well. There's been some controversy with one of those ICOs that I invested in, but I continue to see progress with the developments in that specific project, and so I'm not really worried about it. One of those projects is Tezos, and the other one of those is NVO, a brand new decentralized exchange that is being worked on at this moment. Tezos is the project that I was referring to that has had some controversy, but again, I see no issues moving forward as long as they continue to develop that specific project in the way that they have previously. So, talking about diversification, I obviously invest in several things, but when I do that, I put a lot of money into those assets. And I intend to make a lot of money off of those assets. And that's what Warren Buffett was talking about in this quote. Instead of me going out and investing in, 100 cryptocurrencies, I pick and choose ones that I really expect to do well. Now, a lot of people that I've been talking to recently in my Discord and things like that, they list off like 40 different cryptocurrencies that they're currently invested in. Now, what would be smarter? Investing in those 40 cryptocurrencies and hoping that one of them shoots to the moon? Or investing in one of those projects that you think is going to shoot to the moon, and then it does happen, and you have all of your money in that one asset or a couple of assets that you think are going to shoot to the moon? What's gonna profit you more in the long run? And yeah, you might have to wait a little longer because these projects take time, but what's going to profit you more in the long run? That's what you have to be thinking about, guys. And that is exactly what Warren Buffett was talking about with this quote. I think that some of you guys, you might not know exactly what it is that you're investing in whenever you see these projects, and you just take a look at the price and you're like, oh, this cryptocurrency is only 3 cents right now. But you're failing to look at other things with that project. Like, is it actually doing anything that is going to help the cryptocurrency community? Is it solving any real world problems? Is it creating new technology on blockchain? See, these things are real issues that need to be solved. Scalability, fees, solving problems. Those are problems that really need solving. And so you need to look at those things along with the market cap. So if you take a look at a coin that is only 3 pennies, but then you notice that it has 30 trillion coins, is it really going to go up in value? Well, I don't really think so. Something that's worth 3 cents with 30 trillion coins, that's a pretty high market cap. Now, there's nothing like that right now in cryptocurrencies, but I'm just giving you an example. So you have to take a look at the overall picture. You can't just take a look at the price and say, hey, that's a low price, I'm going to invest in that and hope that it goes up. You really have to delve into the projects and know what they're about. And you need to become an expert, and that's how you'll make money in this race. Because there are over 1,400 cryptocurrencies on the market right now. But I think only about 10% of those are actually going to succeed and go on past 2018. I think there's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people that invested in these smaller projects that don't really do anything to help the community out. I think there's going to be a rude awakening for those people, and a lot of those projects could probably go to zero. So you need to be very wary about that. Now, I also read another quote somewhere else that said, diversification doesn't build wealth, but it secures wealth. I believe that's what it was. And that makes complete sense to me. So once you actually build that wealth, picking projects that you think are going to succeed, then at that point you can take the money that you earned and diversify it and essentially secure that wealth. So that way over time you slowly build more profits. And that's a very good strategy. I think that moving forward, that's probably going to be a little bit more of my strategy as I get older. But right now, I want to pick the projects that I think are going to do extremely well. So, a little bit about my financial situation. Now, I obviously have a little bit more money to play around with than some others, and so I've chosen projects that might be a little bit out of your price range, but the thing is all of these coins are divisible. So you don't have to buy a full coin of something. You can buy a division of a coin. And that's a beautiful thing. So yes, you might not make as much money as somebody that has more money to invest, but it's not about the amount of money that you make, it's the percentages that you make off of the money that you are able to invest. Me personally, I've invested in about 6 projects that I think are going to do extremely well over the next few years, next 10 years, and I'm going to be holding those for a very long time. Obviously on the side I also trade and I mine, so I'm making money in different avenues, and you might call that diversification, but I don't. When we're talking about investments, I'm talking about long holds, and that's what Warren Buffett was talking about as well. You know, he's always been very pro holding things for a lifetime. He never really sells his assets. He always just continues to hold them and grow his wealth. Like, take a look at the Coca-Cola company. He invested in that at a very young age, and he has continued to hold that. He's just done extremely well over time. And that's exactly what I want to do. And I would model things after Warren Buffett because he has become one of the richest men in the world. So if you're looking to gain wealth, diversification might not be the best thing for you. So just keep that in mind moving forward. You know, become an expert in this field and invest in the right projects. And that's how you can build wealth. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. And for those of you that don't celebrate those holidays, I hope that you just have a happy holidays. That's going to be it for today. Crypto Clay out.